Fullerton police detectives placed a 51-year-old male named Chu Yin Vo under arrest at his residence in the city of Huntington Beach for the murder of Mr. Chan. Fullerton police detectives believe, based on their investigation, that Vo acted alone during the planning and commission of this murder. We now know that Vo and Chan were co-workers here at Cal State Fullerton, and beyond that, beyond them being co-workers, we cannot comment specifically on their work relationship. While much has already been done, in the coming days and weeks, we'll be working with the Orange County District Attorney's Office to understand the motive behind this tragic killing and to pursue a successful prosecution of Mr. Vo. Recognizing the impact that this incident has had not only on the campus but our surrounding community, the Fullerton Police Department has dedicated whatever resource was necessary for this investigation. Members of our department, as well as the Cal State Fullerton Police Department, have been working around the clock since this investigation began. It is our hope that the arrest of Mr. Vo will bring a sense of safety and security back to the Cal State Fullerton campus and the surrounding community at large.
There's another trade war brewing that could have global consequences for tech companies and smartphones. Japan dropping South Korea as a preferred trading partner, removing it from the so-called whitelist. That means big headaches for Japanese companies. Exports to South Korean companies now need more screening to make sure they're not being used for weapons or military applications. Japan defending the decision.
This move was approved to revise Japan's export controls appropriately and was not intended to hurt Japan-South Korea relations or to craft countermeasures.
South Korea's president calling the move reckless and promising retaliation.
If Japan, even though it has great economic strength, attempts to harm our economy, then the Korean government also has countermeasures with which to respond.
A short time later, a government official said South Korea was taking steps to remove Japan from its whitelist. Moon's Democratic Party putting it bluntly, saying in a tweet that Japan's decision is an all-out declaration of economic war on our country. The trade spat between the two countries started last month when Tokyo placed export restrictions on 3 chemicals used to make high-tech products like display screens and memory chips. The materials are vital to South Korean companies, including the world's biggest smartphone maker, Samsung. Seoul sees Tokyo's restrictions as retaliation for a series of disputes dating back to the early 20th century when Japan occupied Korea. Japan has denied that's the case. Investors were already worried about President Trump escalating the U.S.-China trade war. Now this dispute between South Korea and Japan just adding more fuel to the fire. Japan's Nikkei fell more than 2%. South Korea's Kospi ending the day down about 1%. Sharice Pham, CNN, Hong Kong.
You have the chemical in your body.
Yes.
Very high levels.
Very high levels.
Sandy Winstelt never suspected the water that flowed through her pipes may be poisoning her.
There's a good chance this will be what ultimately kills me.
Sandy's water is tainted by PFAS, a class of chemicals that studies have linked to kidney and liver cancer, thyroid problems, high cholesterol, birth defects, and pregnancy complications. It's in most products that are water, heat, and grease resistant, like nonstick pans, food containers, and fabric protectants. And Belmont, Michigan, where Sandy lives, has some of the highest levels of PFAS in the nation. The groundwater was contaminated by a nearby shoe factory, Wolverine Tannery, which dumped waste materials covered with Scotchgard for years, according to state officials.
This is what I drink out of, brush your teeth out of, cook with.
Sandy is suing Wolverine and 3M, which makes Scotchgard, over her contamination and the death of her husband, Joel. He died of liver cancer in 2016, 1 year before she found out the water was tainted, so he was never tested for PFAS.
Every night you try to fall asleep and you wonder, is that what did it? Should I not have had him drink so much water?
The state of Michigan is also suing Wolverine, which in a response to CNN said it blames 3M and that some of the lawsuits against it include misleading and unsupported allegations. 3M told CNN it regularly and proactively examines the environmental impact of our products and has invested more than $200 million globally on PFAS remediation efforts.
Is this the largest environmental crisis that this state has seen?
In terms of residential drinking water impacts, yes.
1,300 miles away, every day, dairy farmer Art Schaap milks 1,800 cows on his New Mexico dairy farm. And every day, for nearly a year, he dumps it all down the drain.
That'd be about 12,000 gallons a day of milk.
The milk is contaminated, according to FDA tests, and his milk license suspended. Cows lie dead from old age on his farm because no one will buy their beef.
We have no income. For our family, it's been devastating.
Firefighting foam used in training exercises at a nearby military base contaminated the groundwater on Schaap's property. PFAS contamination sites are everywhere. 712 locations in 49 states have been discovered, according to the Environmental Working Group, an activist nonprofit. Manufacturers like 3M and DuPont have stopped making 2 of the chemicals in the class, but they're still shipped in on products from overseas. They're so prevalent, CDC scientists believe PFAS chemicals are in the bloodstreams of nearly all Americans. Despite all that, the chemicals are unregulated.
I almost feel like we live in a third world country when we see a problem like this that's polluting the groundwater. We have proof from the tests, but yet everybody's sitting on their hands.
Environmentalists have been trying to get the EPA to act for years. The Obama administration took some steps to address PFAS issues, but there's little confidence the Trump EPA will move quickly to make new regulations. Betsy Sutherland worked at the EPA for 33 years before leaving in 2017.
They're solely devoted to deregulating, to repealing public health protections.
Internal government emails show the Trump administration wanted to suppress a CDC study that showed the chemicals were dangerous even at levels the EPA had deemed safe. A White House aide wrote in an email they could not get the CDC to, quote, realize the potential public relations nightmare this is going to be. After mounting public and congressional pressure, the study was released. The EPA did put out an action plan in February, but critics say it's just promises with no real movement.